Are those spoilers? What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and we're going to do a breakdown / spoiler discussion for chapter 263, actually this time, of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is known as the decisive battle in the uninhabited demon of Shinjuku, part 35. And ladies and gentlemen, off my first read-through of the spoiler-oilers, I have so many mixed emotions. This is the JJK reading experience in a nutshell. Half of me wants to do a jig, a backflip, and leap off a roof and start flying, and you start screaming, I'm the honored one. The other half of me is like, KK, why? But to be fair, it's like a eighth of me. Most of me is screaming and trying to do a backflip. But considering this is the quick spoiler discussion, let's not waste any more time on the top right into it. Editing me, are you ready? 3, a 2, a 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Well, at all times. And another fun fact, yeah, this chapter is it's gas. But let me just be real with you. Let me just be real with you. Biggest breakthroughs of the chapter. If you really just want to see what the spoilers were and then dip out of here, I don't blame you. Barrier shatters. Shock horror. Gojo or Goto falls. Womp womp. Bro's a little sleepy deepy. He's in technique burnout. Bada bing, bada boom. Yuji, he gets to punch a little bit more. He unlocked a special variation of Dismantle. Todo got black flashed, but he lived it because he just built like that for real. Ended up using the Vibra Slap in a unique way. Plot twist. It wasn't actually Yuji who was the main character all along. It was actually Hana, who came out the clutch, came out the Shadow Realm. Bada bing, bada boom. Dropped a big old doom all over Sukuna. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna lay that out here. But that's not why I'm tweaking and geeking. The thing I'm tweaking and geeking about, Gege, what is the obsession with off-screening moments like this? Why? What? Like, you ended 262-2 with the tease of Hollow Purple, and I get it. Maybe you're just bored of drawing it. But Gege, in our defense, you haven't drawn Hollow Purple. What? This is 263. Since you haven't drawn Hollow Purple since 235, it's been nearly 30 chapters. It's been more than 30 weeks. Has it been a year? It may have been a year at this point. No, not a year yet. It's not a year yet because 236 came out in September. But it's getting darn close, Gege. Why not show us? Like, notably, I'm hearing mixed things based on the translations. Half of them are saying it didn't work, but half of them are saying it did, considering both of the domains shatter at the same time and the fact that Sukuna is, leaking. I'm assuming he did get hit by some variation of it. Hold on, let me double check those translations. But essentially, my biggest nettle point, I like the rest of the chapter, 100%. My biggest nettle point, why tease us? Why tease us and not show us it? Like, and here's the thing, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm fine with Flashback Kaisen. I understand Flashback Kaisen, especially considering this is Hana of all characters, who, by a majority of the community, and by a majority of the community, I mean me, I definitely critique the use of the character as nothing more than an active, living, breathing, nearly dying plot device. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to take that back either. But with it being the case, I get that you do have to explain, and I do like the whole conversation that Hana and Yuta have here, at least according to the translations I saw. Essentially, Yuta mentions that when people find out I have a copy technique, they just assume the original user doesn't matter anymore. But plot twist, I copy it. I don't actually take it. So I may have nibbled on your arm, or Rika may have nibbled on your arm, but you still have that other arm, you can still clutch up. This is honestly what I was looking for the entire time. I'm more than happy that Hana's back. The main thing, I'm just annoyed. Once again, it's a Gege staple, so I guess I should just get used to it, and considering I believe at Anime Expo, they announced that the Shinjuku Showdown actually is the final arc, which was different from the rumors I was hearing for a while. I'm not sure if that's actually true, or if that one, off-brand article I saw was actually accurate. But still, biggest disappointment of the chapter, no Sea Purple. Womp womp, sad. That aside, let me see. He pulled it off, even if Purple's also a technique, he's still not used to using it. So, yeah, bada bing, bada boom. He did pull off the Hollow Purple. Why couldn't we see it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy he pulled off the Hollow Purple. Your boy made a whole video on whether or not I was going to launch or not, and I called that it would, and it did. I'm about to bust a little move real quick. But still, regardless, man, I just want to see it. I like when Gege draws Hollow Purple. But enough disappointment aside, let's talk about the rest of the chapter. First things first. The removal of Gojo from the battle is a choice that I guess I should talk about Sukuna taking purple. Yeah, makes sense. Once again, it is, as Sukuna himself notes, he's still not used to using it. And sure, this only seemed to do like a red amount of damage, and Sukuna didn't even lose any arms here. But once again, we didn't see it. Maybe the purple was like freshly awakened Gojo purple, for all we know, in terms of size and output, considering it only seemed to burn a part of his face. None of the rest of his body is even harmed. But it was enough damage to break the domain, and he's using RCT, so it's likely he took more damage. I don't know how he tanked it. I will admit, there's no mention of a binding vow in the translations I saw. I'm assuming it was just domain amp. Yeah, he stood there and face tanked it, but it was most likely domain amp, if I had to hazard a guess, because I don't think you need a move to activate domain amplification. You can kind of just flex it on. But that I'm fine with. Once again, I was under no delusion, like I'm pretty sure a majority of the community was, except for the holdouts, that Sukuna was going to somehow fall to this. Like come on now. We know Gege at this point. That was not going to happen. This is the exact same reason why I'm so, like, blasé about Hana showing up. I appreciate that she's going to do big damage, but admittedly, I thought this Hollow Purple was going to do some more big damage to Sukuna. Like, at least lose another arm or something, but he's still chilling with two really, really, really strong nubs. Like, those things are basically hands at this point. But, the other thing, yeah, go to falling. I'll admit I'm mixed on it. I do like it because it helps my copium. My copium for Kenny return is getting ever greater. Because Goda going through Curse Technique Burnout actually turned off Kenny's technique as well. It wasn't just a one-thing wonder. However, this is interesting because despite turning off Kenny's technique, his brain is still active. Like, notably, he's in here having thoughts as he collapses. So, he's still alive in there. Which means that Mei was half right. The technique is not consistent. It can turn off. It will experience technique burnout. But, big bodacious booty butt cheeks. The difference is, the brain, as long as it's been transferred into the new body, will keep being active. It's not like Goda dies here because Kenjaku's technique ceased, or is at least excessively hard to use. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the whole excessively hard to use part. So technically it's still active, and that's allowing Yuta to run the thought processes. I don't know. Once again, I'll see when further translations come out, and I have more time. I'll yap about it more. Once again, in the long form spoiler discussion, I'm trying to be quick and speedy. But overall, I get it. You want to give this time to Yuji and Todo, and especially Yuji, especially before you transfer over to Hana. I get removing Goda, though admittedly, it would have been neat to see Goda just in the traditional jumping format. I get it, he couldn't use Limitless, but to be fair, Goda couldn't use Limitless already. So just seeing the three-way jumping of what would look like Gojo, Yuji, and Todo would be really, really cool. I wish they could have punched the King of Curses a bunch. Though I do get removing Goda, and hey, once again, your boy's more than happy to have some more Kenny Copium. It's delicious. They do bring up the question, or Yuta does bring up the question, how the heck did Kenny keep his technique activated when he was in technique burnout? Which once again feeds into the common theory going around that Kenny's actually the technique itself. Meaning that he kind of can't turn himself off because that'd be a contradiction. Or there was a binding vow that Kenny made in that moment, or post, or who knows how long ago when he initially got the technique, to allow his technique to run even after domain expansion burnout. One of those two is most likely the case. The next thing that's most likely the case is that Yuji Todori, man. Actually, no. Let's talk about this Black Flash first. Darn. Sukuna, I know your output's in the trash right now, my boy. But for a 2.5 times exponential multiplier, you are hitting like a pillow puncher, bro. All you did was break the Viper Slap? What? Like, notably, once again, in the rough translations I saw, it doesn't mention Todo using a Binding Vow or anything. It doesn't mention Todo doing what he did against Mahito and, like, forcing all his cursed energy into one spot. No! Sukuna does Black Flash, bro, and Todo pretty much ate it. Like, the only thing that took damage was the actual piece of metal. He likely couldn't reinforce that well, considering it's an actual piece of metal and not his own flesh. So, like, Sukuna, don't make me, I'm making, like, a best stat and worst stat video for a lot of the top tiers. I had a worse stat for you before, Sukuna. Don't make me drop. I'll switch it out right now. I will alter those notes right this instant, bro, because you are a pillow puncher. Not a single person has taken actual lethal damage from one of your Black Flashes. Choso didn't, LaRue didn't, Maki ate 2, Toto's eating 1. Like, sure, the numbers are impressive, but you low-key looking like Yuji Todori and Akari Kinji right now. Nothing but pillow punchers. But speaking of pillow punchers, we do get to see that Yuji Todori does run in, he does clutch up. And one thing I will admit that I do like, I like how Todo still engages using the Viper Slap, even though he has to use it in, like, a really weird way. Considering, I believe the initial Binding Vow was made with the wooden ball hitting the cowbell on the Viper Slap. Now, it looks like Todo's using a different condition. Likely, he had to alter the Binding Vow right in that instant in order to allow him to use it, and that led to the swapping mania that he has here. And he keeps, like, he hits it on his head, then he bites it. Once again, I'm not sure. Once the translations come out, I'll probably better understand. But Yuji essentially doing a solo jumping on Sukuna is really, really cool. I do like it, and I like how Sukuna's just kind of just forced to deal with it now that he's in, like, the ultimate mix setup. Bro's getting hit by the craziest mix up this side of the Mississippi, and I have to admit, Yuji Todori kind of Prodigious. I'll say prodigious. Pretty prodigious of him. He immediately started using binding vows in order to better target Sukuna and Megami's soul barrier, the boundary between them. And he's actually using Dismantle on a cellular, I guess I can't say cellular, but a cellular level. So we were wondering where Yuji's dismantles were. He showed off cleave in his own unique variation with the scissors on it, but now he's showing off dismantles. He's literally firing off stream after stream of soul dismantles into Sukuna in order to literally cut the boundary between Megami and Sukuna apart to allow Megami to free himself, which is crazy next level stuff. A little bit of a mad thing there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's actually insane. And with that being the case, we see that Sukuna actually nearly loses it. Like, he straight up hurls up Tengen, only to immediately swallow them back. A lot of people I saw when the elites were first dropping, thought like Sukuna was about to start the merger here, but no, it looks like this was purely accidental. He's legit he's running into the perfect cell situation. If you remember when Gohan gut punched Perfect Cell so hard that he literally threw up 18. That's the same thing that happened here, except instead of a gut punch, it was soul dismantles, and the soul dismantles literally made Sukuna hurl. But he immediately swallowed Tengen again, which is, once again, questionable. I wonder what's going to happen to Tengen once Yuji does finally shatter the soul barrier. Who will it go with? Will it go with Sukuna in the fingers and sort of just incarnate into something else? Or would it go with Megami and then Megami? Once again, with the Shinjuku Showdown sort of being implied to be the last arc, unless the Tengen thing is part of the Shinjuku Showdown, still not 100% confident on the merger actually happening. Then we do get to see that Yuji is getting used to cleave. He's starting to apply it more and more diverse ways to set up certain buildings to fall in certain ways, but Sukuna still has the edge. Once again, Yuji is still essentially using a new technique for all intents and purposes, and he never even mastered the first new technique he got, so it makes sense that Sukuna is still able to outmaneuver him, knock him around, do some real damage to him. And once again, it just goes to show how powerful Sukuna himself is. Like, this man's beastly. It's why I was low-key hoping for more damage from that hollow purple that was off-screen. But with that being the case, when we see that Todo's like, well, shoot, we looking kind of rough. And speaking of looking kind of rough, look at that eye about to fall out of Sukuna's face. But looking kind of rough. But I got something for you. And immediately, Sukuna, paying attention to Todo, knowing that Todo could swap him at any moment, is like, all right, what's about to happen here? And nothing happens. At least not seemingly. Apparently, the domain pieces are like tangible and stick around for a whole lot. And that's why Todo was so easily able to swap things around to the ultimate degree, even though he wasn't swapping himself anymore, he was just swapping Yuji. And at least according to Sukuna, what the heck? Nothing happened. Nothing swapped. But something did swap. The domain pieces right above revealed Hanakurusu, or the angel, and or the one who left it all behind. And by left it all behind, I mean nearly got left behind when they spared Sukuna's life by pure accident for the love of Megami. And we see that they came in and they decided to cook. Ultimately, it's revealed that Angel was kind of like, we held up our end of the deal. We free Tatsu to Gojo, and we didn't even get rid of the Fallen. Deuces, Bahama's like, Megami? And Yuta's like, Megami. And they were like, Megami? And they were like, Megami. Essentially, Hana was more than willing to help out, especially when Yuta explained that ultimately she's not in much danger. She kind of gets a sort of LaRue and Miguel deal, where she'd only show up in conditions where it would be perfectly feasible for her to catch Sukuna off guard, and he couldn't immediately react. I mentioned in the past that ultimately, the way Sukuna probably defeated Angel in the past was likely by noticing her and blitzing her before she could actually activate her maximum technique. But in this case, it looks like she was midway activating the maximum and she was swapped in, so the moment that she appeared, Sukuna had no choice but to turn and get blasted. Now, this is a debate on what's going to happen. Is he going to dodge it? Is he going to tank it? Is it going to have any effect on Yuji? That's a big question, because that's actually really, really important for like the Yuji-Yuta matchup. Though admittedly, I still think Yuta kind of survives that. But essentially, Jacob's Ladder is dropped on Sukuna once again. Now, with the soul barrier between Megami and Sukuna being so fragile and shattered in so many different ways, the next big question that a lot of people, or at least I'm assuming a lot of people are asking, once again, I'm kind of just immediately recording after the leaks came out, I'm assuming people are going to wonder the split. How's it going to work, and how's it going to affect not just Megami, not just Sukuna, but also Tengen, considering they're revealed to kind of just be sitting in Sukuna's upper stomach. If the body starts to break down, Tengen still technically counts as an evil spirit, considering, the whole evolving into a curse type beat. So how Jacob's Ladder is going to affect them is also going to be interesting. So overall, a W chapter. Once again, I'm just slightly disappointed by the off-screening and the loss of Goda, but the loss of Goda does make sense and does help my copium. And the off-screening, I guess, makes sense for a pacing point. Don't draw purple, I guess. Whatever. Okay, do whatever you want to do. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler discussion. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave Baby Angel. Baby Angel. Should I say Angel Baby? Nah, Baby Angel. Leave Baby Angel in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. And so now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reaction to this very chapter, and free variations of all my videos. And if you become a $25 Patreon and $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to thank you to our $3 members, Zena, Greyhound, Astro, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, G Prosper, Red Wolf 4765, and Paris Arnold. I'd like to give another big ol' thank you to our $5 patrons, Sean, Sammy, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Josh Brown, and A+A. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $7 members, Autumn Mornings Lazo, Fine, and That Guy. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $10 members, Robbie Uchiha, J Warrior, and Akid's Void. And I'd like to give big, hefty, juicy thank yous to our $10 patrons, Panda Goat, Michael Williamson, Metal Solid Crisis, Joaquin Munoz, and Idemo Kami. And I'd like to give the biggest, juiciest, meatiest, sloppiest, and heftiest thank you of them all to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.